So now let's continue the last part today. He said, how ordinary people do, secret of ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. Listen, he said, just the willingness to take responsibility and stretch yourself simply opens you to the whole cosmic energy. When you take responsibility, the energy will descend, the intelligence will be sent to you, and you just start doing extraordinary things. So no matter what the situation may be, when you declare that you will do whatever it takes, when you stand up with responsibility, you become a channel for the divine energy to flow through you. So you declaring, okay, I'll take care of this. This is my responsibility. I'm going to do it. Suddenly you realize that by standing up with the responsibility, the cosmic energy, divine energy start flowing to you. Okay, so can air flow through a solid bamboo pole? No, right? So a bamboo pole can only help carry a dead body to the graveyard. With the same bamboo, you see, when the same bamboo has become hollow, it becomes a flute, Krishna's flute, where divine melodies, music are played. Okay, so that is the main difference. Be a empty bamboo, so that you're allowed to serve like the block bamboo. As long as you're focusing just only your vested interest, me, my, I, you will be like a block bamboo. Nothing can flow through you. When you stand up with responsibility, the expansions happen, and you become like the bamboo flute. Then, just as the air that enters the bamboo expresses as music, the air that enters you will express from you as energy, Shakti. And great things will happen through you. When you feel responsible for whatever is happening around you, you spontaneously start transforming not only just your life, but also others' lives. Okay? So here's a clip. When you declare with responsibility, you become a channel for divine energy to flow through you. Okay? So just declare responsibility, you'll see that divine energy will rush to you to manifest whatever reality that you want. So understand this part, how ordinary people is able to do extraordinary things just because they take responsibility only. I mean, you look at our Prime Minister, Senior Minister Lee Kuan Yew, right? He took out the responsibility for Singapore, right? The future of Singapore, and he had, of course, had a very great team also, who also are in tune with that responsibility. It's like make or break kind of thing. So they all collectively took up the responsibility and created many examples of great leadership. When they take up responsibility, the divine energy just flow through them. The wisdom, the foresight, ability to manage or lead become part of them. Next slide. So understand fundamentally responsibility is a power. It is not a burden. A lot of time our society taught us, oh, if you take more responsibility, it means you're being weighed down, you carry heavy load on the shoulder like lots of bricks. No, he said it is a power in the spiritual sense. Swamiji said responsibility is the means to create an expanded life for you and others. Why do you not take up responsibility? Why don't you take up responsibility? So usually people think, for the salary I get, I'm already taking more than enough responsibility. Why should I take in more? It's still the same salary. I'm not going to take in more because anyway I'm going to pay that X number of dollar only per month. If I take more means I work, I take in more work, right? So that is the human mentality. He said, don't be foolish, Swamiji said. Taking responsibility is going to help you live an expanded life. It is not a favor that you do for your boss. By not taking responsibility, you are destroying your possibility, not your boss' possibility. Understand? You destroy your possibility and you think your boss will be suffering. No, it is like you drinking the poison and expecting your boss to die. You're the one who's going to die only because you didn't do anything. So after that, you just get fired or get retrenched. The boss is still going to sit pretty there. Understand? Next slide. So only when you break the pattern of not taking responsibility for your own expansion, your life begins. Until then, even if you are alive, you're no longer living. You're just waiting, to be buried only. So you're just waiting to be buried. The Hindu caste system is based not on birth, but on the type or an amount of responsibility a person is willing to take. A person who is responsible for the community well becomes a Vaishya. A person who is responsible for the community's security becomes a Kshatriya, a protector, okay? And the Vaishya is like a businessman. They manufacture products and services for the people. A person who feels responsible for the community's knowledge becomes a Brahmana. Brahmana is the one who shares the science of living enlightenment. And a person who feels responsible for the whole world becomes a sannyasi, a monk. A sannyasi is the person who had taken the responsibility for the whole world. Okay? And of course, the enlightened master is one who has taken responsibility for the entire cosmos. See, the more and more responsibility you take out, the more and more powers you get showered. Understand? So if you decide that, at some point I'm going to be a sannyasi, then it means what? You're responsible for the whole world. Next, when you take responsibility for all the happening in your physical layer, you become more healthy. When you take responsibility for your body, suddenly you see that the organs become alive. Your body is in tune with health. Understand? So layer by layer, when you start taking responsibility, you will have health, wealth, fulfilling relationship and enlightenment. Next slide. So in the same way, when you take responsibility for all the happenings in the breathing space, you become a team leader. You take responsibility for all the happenings in a mental layer, you become a social leader. When you take responsibility for all the happening in your emotional layer, you become a leader of a country, setting the trend for the mental makeup of future generations. When you take responsibility for all the happenings in your bliss layer, you become a leader of the cosmos. Understand? The leader of the cosmos means Paramashiva only. So here's a practice that you can consider. Say, do not measure your level of responsibility with the rewards it brings. Look at your life and note down how you can expand to take responsibility for all your dimensions, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Practice this with authenticity. So basically, Swamiji is asking all of us to contemplate and look at your life, or each one's life, and note down how you can expand to take responsibility for all the different dimensions, like physical, what kind of body you want, health you want, mental, what kind of mental health, what kind of emotional dimension, how you want to feel emotionally. You do want to drop all your negative emotions that constantly put you down, constantly put you in low mode. And spiritual, what you want to take responsibility for your spiritual growth. For instance, you want to liberate yourself in this birth, for instance. That means leading to no more samsara. You're not coming back. You're going to merge into the source. So if you decide this is the goal of this birth, in terms of spiritual dimension, then what are you going to do? Note down how you're going to expand into that dimension. Understand? So these 4 dimensions: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Note down how you can expand to take responsibility in these 4 categories of your life, 4 aspects of your life. Do it with authenticity. That means really, really wanting to stretch yourself. Let's say physical. Right now, you're feeling that you have some kind of sickness or some kind of body not able to hold the energy very well, constantly feeling tired. Then what do you want to do with the physical body and mental? Does your mind always sabotage you? How to have a Vedic mind instead of human mind? A Vedic mind is one that brings clarity and enlightenment. But if you have a human mind, then you're only going to have emotions, fear, greed, suffering, and all that. Okay, and then your emotional dimension. How you want to relate with people. And lastly, spiritual. Next slide. So, understanding past and future. See, listen, he said, today I want you to share a truth honestly with you. He said, please understand you are not given the power to correct the past. Please understand, you are not given the power to correct the past. You have no power to correct your past. You only have the power to build your future because the future is in your hand. The more and more you think and brood over the past, the more suffering you have and the more powerless you will feel because you have no capacity to correct it. And any struggle, any effort you put into correcting it, you will be an utter failure. Don't even try, okay? So in the same way, you should also know that your past has no way of influencing your future. You just need to make sure that the past does not have any influence of your future. Next slide. Okay, next slide. So he said, you're hypnotized or conditioned to believe that your past has an influence on the future. No, as long as you believe that your past can influence you, you are in delusion, Maya. So you're caught in the Maya when you think that your past can influence you. So he said, listen carefully. Even if somebody has been a sinner till this moment, that means he can become a saint in the next moment. He can become a saint in the next moment. In the same way, somebody who has been a saint till this moment can become a sinner the next moment. We apply both ways. This is the beauty of Mahakala, time. Okay, your cognition about you, about life, depends on what you think of as your time. You usually think of your time as, say, about 100 years. This is what you think you're going to live up to. And you think of the past as your time and the future as your time. No, this is not completely right. The first cognition you need to have is that the whole of time is your time, not just 100 years. Second, whatever is past is not your time. Third, only the future time is your time. Okay, so understand these three cognition that Sanju wants us to have. The whole of time is your time, not just 100 years. Understand that this 100 years, you're looking only at this lifespan. Second, whatever is past is not your past. It's not your time. Past is no longer your time. Only the future is your time because that's where you can control, you can change. Next slide. So the past is not your time. It has no power over you, no influence over you. You think of it as your time based on the delusion that any time spent while you're in the body is your time. No, the past is not your time. It was perceived by you with a broken, beaten, confused, and abused cognition. So you cannot plan your future based on the idea that whatever happens in the past is your time. The past has already dropped you, but you're still holding on to it. That's the problem. The past already gone behind you, but you are attached to it. That's the problem. So the past has no influence over your future. On your future, let go of it. So how to handle the past is letting go, dropping it. Next slide. So own only what you can own. This is very interesting, powerful cognition. He said, not owning what you cannot own and owning what you can own is intelligence. Okay, you have this intelligence or awareness. You are not going to own what you cannot own. And owning what you can own. That these two clarity will save you a lot of problem. Okay. chasing a lot of things that is not your own. See, unfortunately, you constantly try to own what you cannot own, and you do not own what you are supposed to own. This is a human problem, okay? Human being. You constantly try to own what you cannot own. Like your children. You try to think that you can influence your children. You can't own them. The moment they are born, they are independent intelligence, but you try to own them. You try to make them live the way you want. Understand? And you cannot own what you're supposed to own. And you do not own what you are supposed to own. Okay? It means your body is what you own, but you don't own it. You let it be separated from you. You let it, just let it be neglected. So you're supposed to own your future, but you do not take ownership for it. You do not take responsibility for it. Instead, you continuously try to own your past, which you cannot own. This is the problem. You think the past you can own? No, it's already gone, dead. But you try to own it. Whereas the future is what you can own because it is yet to happen. You are the manifestation or the creator of your future. But instead of working to own their future, you let the past be the master. So why do you feel comfortable owning the past and not the future? This is because your mind teaches you to always win the known, own the known. That means the mind wants to be secure with the known, not the unknown. The unknown is always frightening to the mind. So the mind rejects the unknown and cling on to the known. But just because the pain is shown, do not think you own it. Okay? Not just because the past is known, do not think you own it. Okay? You may know the past, but you are not the owner of the past. You only know it, you do not own it. That is very clear. You can only own the future, and you're supposed to own your future. Next slide. So when you are ready to move out of your comfort zone and face the unknown, this is freedom. Understand, freedom from the known is the real freedom. And just look in, 90% of your thoughts are all about the past. If you just sit and just look in and what thoughts that you have, the majority of the thoughts are related to the past. When I see a person, Swamiji said, I tell them from their eyes, I can tell from their eyes whether he's lost in the past or working towards the future. The eyes have no power indicate that the person is lost in the past. Understand, you might have lived with your, let's say, your spouse for 50 years. He or she may have been your first and last love. And you might have the most romantic relationship with her or him, depending on your male or female body. Even then, you cannot keep her dead body with you for more than a few hours. Let's say your spouse passed on, left the body. You can't keep the body with you for more than a few hours because after a few hours, the decay starts to happen and there needs to be refrigerated or burned quickly, right? In the Vedic tradition, we burn within the same day as much as we can. Whereas in the Chinese culture, they try to preserve it. They either preserve for 3 days or 5 days. Some even go up to 7 days. To do some rituals and offering. Okay, next slide. So this is exactly how you should behave with the past. No matter how beautiful the past was, remember it is dead now. It is over. Just wake up from that. Just because she was your beloved or he was your beloved, you fulfill all your dreams, she fulfilled all your dreams, she's part of you, you had a romantic relationship and amazing life together. Do not forget the truth. You cannot keep her dead body. You understand? Let's say your spouse left the body and you feel that, you guys spend so much time together, a beautiful moment together. But the moment she's gone, left the body, you cannot keep the body. This is time you bury her body. It is time you give her a good farewell. A good farewell, send off. So Basically, and there is a funny thing. If you're clinging to your past because it was happy, at least it can be understood. But you keep clinging on to the past, even though it was a torture while you were living, your energy hardly ever flows towards the future because it is locked in the past. That's why Swamiji said that when you are established in the past, the energy hardly flows towards your future. You're locked in the past, okay? And destroying your future. Next slide. So when you constantly brew over your failures, you are only empowering them. When you give so much significance to your past failures, you have already planned that your future is going to be a failure as well, because you have given so much importance to your past failures. So one of the delusions that human beings suffer from is that the future comes out of the past. No, I tell you, future comes outside of past, not out of, okay? That is why when you take sannyas, the monastic vow, becoming a monk, you just break from the past. If you are still brewing over your past failures, sannyas has not yet happened in you. Sanya happens in you when you are able to disconnect from your past. Even if you're wearing the monastic robe, when you're still in kavi, the space of sannyas has yet to happen in you. Understand? Those people who receive kavi, let's say from Swamiji, if they are still stuck in the past, whether it's failure, relationship, be very clear, sannyas has not happened for you, because the sannyasi is meant to break the past and live in the present. Okay, next slide. So try to own the past. Trying to own the past is abusing time, Mahakaila. Not owning the future is shutting the door to Mahakailas. Okay, that means when you don't own your future, you're shutting the door to the Mahakala. So owning your future means receiving Mahakala. Brooding over your past means living with your own dead body. When you keep thinking of the past, you're living with your own dead body and not looking into the possibility of life, into the future. So if you take ownership of your future, your eyes will be shining and bright. Taking ownership means taking responsibility of your future. Your eyes will be shining and bright. Anticipating the future, ready to receive it, planning for it, taking ownership for it. That is the main difference. If you lost that glow, shine in your eyes, this is what Swamiji instruction. Take ownership for your future. You will see your eyes start to shine with bright light inside, inner light. Take ownership of your future and time will just simply bless you. So here's the clip. You can only own own your future, not your past. Sorry, this is, I think, the typo error. You can only own your future, not your past. Okay? Next slide. So let go of what is over, which is your past, right? By nature, you are hardwired to move towards the future. This is how we're wired. We're moving towards the future. The only mistake that you make is that you move towards the future without taking ownership for it. Just move towards your future with responsibility. Then you're on the right track. You're moving towards enlightenment. The more and more responsibility you take up, the more and more you're moving towards enlightenment. The gap between the unconscious to the enlightenment is narrow. That means you're moving towards enlightenment. So because you move towards your future with so many fantasies, but without taking the responsibility to fulfill it, you're just building castle in the air, daydreaming, okay? All this fantasy, without taking responsibility, you have faced failure in the past. Now, the failures of your fantasy occupy your inner space, okay? All the fantasy that you dream of, because of you not taking responsibility, it became a failure. And that failure sit inside you as the past. So the failure of your fantasy occupy your inner space so much that you are lost in the past and the guilt of the past. So when you fail all the time and you're not able to let go of this past, they will be sitting inside you and creating the guilt. So when you do not move with responsibility towards your future, your past will naturally be filled with guilt. One of the ways to drop guilt completely is to take responsibility to move towards your future, like the wasted pages of your biography when you don't do it. Okay, next slide. So Swamiji said, I tell you, your smile, your laughter means that you are taking ownership of your future. Your long face means you're lost in trying to own your dead past. If you see that you're not smiling, you're not laughing enough, come to the laughter meditation. Right, Paul, huh? The other day when Florence came to attend the Krishna Janmashtami, she said, hey, when shall we do it again? She's like, a super game to do it again.
So just now she even said, hey, can we ask Maduka to do one every month?
She seems to be having a rocking good time. She wants to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the time. The more and more you have laughter and smile in your life, the more you're more taking ownership of your future, because the future is going to be auspicious, happening. But when you're stuck with the past, because you're not able to complete with the past, you're only feeling dead and feeling sad and depressed. Understand? So he said that it means that whenever your face has a smile, your consciousness and cognition are moving towards the future. It means that you are reminded of the possibility of life. The truth of your possibility is constantly there in your cognition. That's how you can feel, jubilant and happy and with laughter. Hold on to the forward moving foot of Kalabhayava. You see, when Kalabhayava, the statue, is holding the Trishul and he's standing 1 foot forward. That foot that is forward is the one that is the future, the Lord of Time. Do not hold on to the back leg and try to pull him back. If you hold on to his back leg, Kalabhayava will simply kick you away and move on. Instead, hold on to the leg that is moving forward. Then Kalabhayava will bless you and take you forward. Come, let's move forward. Okay? That is Lord of Time, Kalabhayava. Next slide. So listen, do not commit the crime of holding on to the past and trying to own it. Keeping a dead person's photograph is okay, not the dead body itself. Each incident in your past that you're clinging to is like one dead body clinging to you. If you own 20 such dead bodies, what will happen to you? You'll be stinking. Not only the body is stinking, you're also stinking. Listen, so your past has no future. Don't waste your life holding on to it. The more you realize that your past has no power over your future, the more you're free, you're liberated. So this philosopher, when J. Krishnamurti says freedom from the unknown, freedom from the known is real freedom. That is what he means. Freedom from the past is the ultimate freedom. Okay, that means the known is the past, because it already happened. You know. So when you're free from the known, which is your past, that is the real freedom. Okay? Understand? Free yourself from the known, which is the past. Next slide. So you need to feel responsibility towards your future. Feel the responsibility towards your future, not fear. Fear of the past destroys your future. So fear of the future happens when you are not aware of the result that your actions can bring. When you take responsibility for your future, you will neither have fear nor have greed. because you will be aware of your actions and their consequences. Okay, so you will just be simply aware. So here's another contemplation point to do. See, each incident in your past that you are clinging onto is like one dead body clinging onto you. So if you own 20 such body, what will happen? You'll be burdened, loaded with heaviness, and you'll be stinking. Okay, so don't carry all those dead past. You can visualize more dead past that you're carrying is one more dead body. Okay, next slide. So who's in charge of your future then? Here's a small story. Listen. He says, Swamiji said, 4 co-workers were sharing a table at lunchtime. One of them, a young man who had joined the company recently, opened his lunchbox and saw that it contained tomato rice. He made a face and ate it. Okay. Then the next day, the same group was sitting at the table when the young man opened his lunchbox, saw that it contained tomato rice, and grumbling ate it again. Okay, grumbling, let me see, with a lot of grumble, he ate his lunch anyway. The third day, the same thing happened. This time the young man complained loudly, "Oh no, not tomato rice again." Now comes the 4th day. When he saw the lunch box contained tomato rice again, he quietly walked over to the waste bin and emptied the box into it. Then his co-worker marveled at his patience, but didn't ask any question. Next slide. So what happened? Why you throw away the rice? Continue. So finally, on the 5th day, when the young man opened his lunch box, his co-workers watched anxiously his reaction, and sure enough, it was tomato rice again. If I have to see tomato rice one more day, I'm going to walk off the balcony. That means you're going to commit suicide, he announced grimly. But why don't you tell your wife to stop making tomato rice for your lunch every single day? Asked one of the co-workers in panic. The young man looked startled. Wife? What wife? He said. I'm not married. I pack my own lunch. He's responsible for the same thing that he packed. Next slide. So understand, this is exactly the way you behave with your life. After working hard in the past to create all possible negative situations, you're shocked at what is happening in your life. Hey, you work for your past, no? You make all the past, and create all this negative situation. And then you are shocked. Oh, why is my life happening like that? After smoking every day for 20 years, you wonder why cancer came from. How come you got lung cancer? Or you got throat cancer? You're smoking for 20 years, what do you expect, right? Not taking responsibility for your own future is nothing less than slow suicide. Understand? Not only suicide of your body, is suicide of your soul. Amandroha. You're killing your soul. Okay? So here's an activity. Outline all your actions that lead you to a predictable failure, but for which you don't take responsibility, like waking up late, being late to work, then blaming the traffic for it, giving excuses, whatever it may be. Make a note of top 5 similar actions in your life and cause, basically how you're going to correct them. How you're going to change them. Okay, we'll give you a few minutes for you to do this contemplation. Just outline the actions that lead you to predictable failure. Okay, what were the things you did that failed you? Because you didn't take responsibility. It could be your body, your health, or it could be your job or your relationship. You didn't take responsibility for a certain relationship that caused it to become bitter, sour, broken. Look inside. You blame it on the other person, you blame it on something, and you blame it on traffic, you blame it on God, you blame it on something else. Everything just something outside, point finger, but you never look inside that it is you who didn't take responsibility. When you escape from taking responsibility, when the mess happened, you try to point finger. So take a note of those things and make a note of top 5 similar action in your life and correct them, and how you're going to correct them. Okay. Like, creating a lot of non-fulfilling relationship. It could be one. Another one could be health issue. Okay. Another one could be feeling stuck in your career or your job. Okay. So when you don't take responsibility, and you can list down what are the similar action you have done which is not taking responsibility, and how you're going to do it to change this whole situation by taking responsibility for yourself. So here again and again, remember, if you don't take responsibility for your future, you are only going to have a slow suicide. Gradually, you will just end up in suicide. Next slide. He said, never retire from life. This is another thing that confirmed by Swamiji. There's no such thing as retirement. Understand? You need to know this truth. Your cognition about your future is your kundalini, your highest possible energy. Understand? Your cognition about your future is your kundalini shakti. If your cognition is fully engaged in the past, your energy is dead. Your energy cannot move. If you're building a dead, that means you are building a dead future. However, if you plan the future on responsibility, it becomes a possibility. If not, it is just a probability. So every moment when you spend brooding over the past, you are traveling towards death. That is why people start clinging to the past as they grow older. People who are older, they age very quickly because they cling on to the past. See, the age or the seniors are full of the past because they know that they do not have a future. So that is the problem. And of course, the quicker they do that, the quicker they are welcoming death. Next. So yesterday, like Swamiji said, I got the news that an international celebrity had died. Guess who is that? When Swamiji spoke about this, then the question I asked was, oh, was she still alive? So must be a lady. Guess who is that? That means that for the last part of her life, that celebrity was no longer alive. Last part of the life. She was no longer living, no longer useful to life. Understand?
If I may guess, was it Whitney Houston?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was her. You know, that time when I did my first inner awakening in 2009, June, I was in India, BDD. During the program, Michael Jackson died. We were like, that was the year when Michael Jackson died. So he said, I tell you, this is the only thing people should not ask when you die. Oh, was she still alive? As long as you're alive and enriching life, you're alive and enriching life, you are useful to life. There should be no gap between your retirement from your work and retirement from the world. No gap. Whether you're retiring from your work or retiring from the work, there's no gap. I tell you, even after retiring from this body, I'm not going to retire from humanity. This is my commitment to humanity. Understand? Even Swamiji leave the body, he will continue to serve humanity. Understand? And in a different frequency or different planes. Next slide. So when you are caught in the past, it means you are retiring from life even when you're still alive. Understand? People who are stuck in the past, cannot move on, cannot look into the future. They are the people who are retiring from life even though when they're still in the body. But this is how you are living. Most people are living. If you look at the society, majority are living in this way only. Usually it takes about 21 days to break you from your past and move towards your future. In these 21 days, you go through one cycle of transformation. This is what I am doing during the 21-day program, In Awakening. When Swamiji created or designed this In Awakening program, that's why he tried to make it 21 days. And we're complaining, so long. But this is what is needed for transformation. In this program, I open every door that can move you out of your past and into the future. Talks, techniques, processes, meditation, 21 powerful initiations, because it is how much it takes for you to be able to drop the dead past. And that is what happened. When I was there my first In Awakening, so many meditation we did and initiation Swamiji gave. It's just to move us away from the past, means drop it, be able to embrace the future. So usually we think that we will build the future and then move out of the past. No, unless you're ready to drop the past at every step, you will never free up the energy to create your future. I think not your past, to create your future. Understand? That means drop the past every step, then you will free up the energy to create new future. Next slide. So here's the activity. You can take a paper or mobile phone to write it. Make a list of 5 negative mental patterns that you are clinging onto, even though you know that they are impacting your major decision. Write it down how they influence your decision making and planning for the future. Consciously drop them and declare that they will no longer have an influence on your decision making. What are the 5 negative mental patterns? Write it down. It could be 1, procrastination. It could be another one, laziness. Okay, laziness. It could be like frustration. You're frustrated, for instance. You're always feeling frustrated because you never complete with your past hangover, so you're feeling frustrated all the time. So all the 5 negative mental patterns that you have, which you're holding on to, even though you know that they're impacting your major decision. Like for instance, it could be also non-enthusiastic. Let's say you're not enthusiastic about your future. You're just feeling so tired, so sad or something like that. Not able to feel fired up, charge up about your future. So write it down, 5 negative patterns, and then make a list. Then write down how they influence your decision making and planning for the future. These 5 negative mental patterns, how it influences you in your body, mental level, emotional level, and spiritual level. Look at it. And then once you have clear how it's destroying your future, then consciously declare, I'm going to drop this now. I don't want to have this anymore. No longer have an influence on your decision making. Just decide that I know this is now why I'm so stuck, why I'm always attracting this failure. Just declare your consciousness over the past. Okay? Just take a few minutes to do it. Are you guys doing it? Yep. You want to write that down? One of the negative mental pattern could be fear, a lot of fear. So just list it down. Done with this activity? Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So here Swamiji say, just own it. Never think that becoming a leader would make you responsible. Being responsible will make you a leader, not the other way around. Not by becoming a leader, you will be responsible, because a lot of people, when they become leader, they are not responsible. They make other people do the work. They don't want to do the responsible work. But when you take responsibility, you become a leader. So ownership always creates leadership, because ownership always expands you. Understand? Not the other way around. There is no moment in life when you are not taking ownership anyway. For whatever you're doing, whether it is cooking a meal or crossing the road or signing a big business contract or ruling a country, being a head or the state of a country. So why not take ownership consciously? Swamiji's question to all of us. Why not take ownership consciously? Next slide. So when you take responsibility consciously, it becomes a power and also a joy. Whether to flourish as an individual or maintain a stable family or work as a part of an organization or support each other in a community, you need to take ownership. Understand? Taking ownership is a prerequisite. So if you are a housewife, for instance, take responsibility for that. If you are a professional manager, for instance, take responsibility for that. If you are a father, take responsibility for that. If you are a student, take responsibility for that. And if you are a son, take responsibility for that. If you are a sannyasi, you are taking, the vow of a sannyasi, then take responsibility for that too. Taking responsibility for all the dimensions you have in your life, for everything. That is what is going to expand you and make you feel that responsibility is a power. Next slide. So somebody say, I've seen many people who serve their whole life but never become leaders. Understand, the person who feel it as their own naturally becomes the owner. The person who does not feel it as his own remains as a worker. So which one you choose to be is really up to you. You want to take ownership, naturally you become the leader or the boss. If you don't take responsibility, you just remain as a worker and someone will sit on top of you and direct you. So here's a clip. Becoming responsible makes you a leader, not the other way around. Okay? Next slide. So here's another thing. Your bigness frightens you. Remember, I mentioned already, you're scared of your unknown, how big you are. See, you always believe that you're suffocated by your smallness. No, you're suffocated by your bigness. Whatever bigness is demanded of you, whatever you feel you are forced to expand, you shrink further into your comfort zone. Your tiredness, your boredom, your weakness, your powerlessness, all these are nothing but the resistance you have to seeing your own bigness. That is why when someone tells you you're weak, poor, or a sinner, it's so easy to accept it. But someone tells you you're a divine, you're powerful, you're Mahadeva, you're complete, your whole identity starts trembling with fear because the unknown is the one that frightens you. Next slide. So, but life always demands your expansion because expansion is the natural law of life. That is why you carry such a deep fear of life, especially life is in the form of other people. Because people who are most living expression of life, the more you engage with life, the greater the expansion you will be demanded of you. So you think all your responsibilities are like a solid hill sitting in front of you. No, they're just a big balloon floating in front of you. You just need a little bit of authenticity or a small needle called initiation to burst it. When you get initiation by Guru, the balloon will just burst. The feeling of powerlessness is nothing but your fear of your bigness. So just without all the powerlessness, all the weaknesses that you carry about you, then you will see that all this powerlessness become irrelevant, and you will be able to expand and become a leader. Next slide. So whenever you are feeling weak, tired, powerless, the first thing you should do is this. Immediately take on 10 responsibilities and commit to fulfill it within a certain time. Shake your inner space so powerfully with that commitment that there will be no way of silence or boredom to grow inside you. When you have this tendency to feel tired or bored, this is where the powerlessness has entered you. Then he said the solution is take on more responsibility, 10 new responsibility. Then you see that you will not slow down, you'll be running. You'll be very, very active. Because by doing that, you're actually shaking your inner space from all your tightness and boredom. You understand? This is a technique Swamiji gave to his disciple. Okay, so here's a practice. When you feel powerless, simply declare and take on additional responsibility. Make a list of additional areas in which you will take responsibility in your life or others' life. Discover how this practice can shake your inner space and help you grow. Take on more, take on more. In Swamiji Sangha, when you take on certain responsibility, more responsibility will get added. It's not like, oh, if I take on this, I drop the other. No, there's no dropping, only adding to the plate that you have, adding more and more and more. Okay? He said the moment you are able to take on more responsibility, be very clear, more responsibility will be given to you. Okay? Next slide. So even your thoughts are in your control. Listen, this is amazing part. Understand the mind is an action. It is not solid thing as you imagine. It is changing every moment, like walking and talking. It just keeps changing, right? So suppose you're walking, and if you don't want to walk anymore, what do? You just stop walking. That's all. If you are talking, if you don't want to talk anymore, you just shut up, right? You just remain silent. In the same way, mind is also an action. If you don't want to do it, just don't do it. That's all. When you can stop walking, stop talking, why not stop thinking? You can stop thinking. Next slide. So when we never believe that we can stop our thoughts when we want, but we never believe that we can actually stop the mind thoughts, especially professional seekers, they come and tell me, no, I have tried so many years and I can't control the mind, controlling mind is impossible, blah, blah, blah. Please understand, mind is a very subtle action of yours, very subtle. You need to be aware. You're doing it. Is there anyone sitting inside you doing it? No, right? It's only you. You are the one doing it. When it is you who's doing it, why don't you change the flow of thoughts and stop them at your will? You're the one only. So look in a little. It needs just a little shift in the approach, a little shift in the attitude, a little shift in the understanding. That's all. Then you can see that you empower yourself with this one understanding, and you can just silence the mind. You can stop the mind, just like that. Okay, next slide. So here's the list of activity. I think this is the last slide. Okay, listen. Please do this. This is a homework, okay? Write it down, or you can take a screen grab later, or maybe our Sharifini will share that. He says, write down all the areas in your life where you shrink from expressing yourself fully. Example, in a relationship or in a work situation or volunteering seva, where you feel that you're shrinking, you're not expressing yourself fully. Next, for each of these actions or these areas, the areas, okay, let's say you list down 5 areas that you're shrinking. For each of these areas, write down the thoughts you have, the words you utter, and the action you take. That is before the shift, okay? Write it down. Why did I don't want to take on responsibility for this? Why I run away from this? Okay, write it down, okay? Identify where you're not taking responsibility for that aspect of your life, where you are waiting for external situation to change instead. Okay? Choose any one area and declare your responsibility for creating that new situation. Choose any one area, let's say your health or your relationship. Choose one area and declare responsibility for creating a new situation. Let's say you want to heal a relationship. Okay? So just declare, I want to heal the broken relationship with so and so. By when. Identify what has to change for that to happen. First, maybe you declare, I'm going to do completion within me for the incompletion I carry about that person. Okay, first thing, do completion within you. And then after that, you're going to talk to the person, arrange a time to complete with others, right? So this could be your responsibility, the action they're going to do. Okay, so whatever may be, or it could be your spiritual growth. Like for instance, you're shrinking in your spiritual growth, you don't feel that you're expanding. So then what is stopping you from expansion? List it down. So for 1 week, follow up with yourself and record your progress. Okay, so do this as one of your action for 1 week and see your progress. Can you do it? Okay. Next slide. So we're going to take a few minutes to contemplate the areas that you feel that are shrinking. We're going to sit and contemplate, okay, in a meditation. So I'm going to play the Mahavakya. For 7 minutes, we'll sit and see which are the areas that you are shrinking. Okay? Start now. You can close your eyes. You can wear the eye band if you want. Just sit with Swamiji and see what he reveals to you.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your 3 eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Shivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Relaxed. Open your eyes. So, do you manage to see what Swamiji revealed to you about the areas of expansion where you want, the shrinking area that he want you to complete and expand? Anyone? Do you see? Huh? Yes or no?
Swamiji showed me need to trust my intuition
Yes.
and let
You
go
need to
of
trust your
the
intuition.
mind.
Huh?
And let go of the mind.
Let go of the mind. Okay, so that is a good. Trust and more intuition. Yes. What about Paul? Anything that got shown to you?
Take up more responsibility for our community, like our kids, we're talking about the vaping and all the stuff. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that is a huge social problem now.
huge
Even though the
worldwide.
government is stepping in huge, man, it could mean a destruction of the whole new generation. Already our population is dwindling because people are not reproducing enough, and then with so little small pool, and all then go and do a mass destruction with this vaping thing, right?
And
It's
then now
terrible.
it has evolved that the kids who are vaping, they have aggression, and then now they are being caught for aggression. So it's like, it's developing so fast that it's getting out of
It's
hand.
terrible. That's why there's this whole degradation of consciousness. Can you see? They're not only destroying the body, they're destroying the mind, they're destroying the consciousness as well. They're like useless now. I don't know whether I do not know the drugs how damaging it is to their body, whether it's reversible or not. Do you understand? Whether it's reversible, even like for me, if I were to work with them, make them into a yogic lifestyles and things like, whether is it a permanent damage? I have no idea. Because like something is permanent damage, they say alcohol is permanent damage to your consciousness. Okay, alcohol, and of course cocaine and things like that, permanent damage. It means the body is wasted, even though how much you want to do to raise the consciousness. Once you touch all this, addictive
I
substance.
really didn't know that alcohol causes permanent damage. You mean to the liver and all that? I thought that can be reversed.
No, not just liver, consciousness.
Or consciousness.
The brain
Oh.
cannot awaken the subtle brain growth for enlightenment. I'm talking about addiction to alcohol. Okay, I'm not talking like just drinking casually, just a little bit of drink a little bit, but people who are addicted to alcohol. That means if they don't drink, the body will shake, that kind.
So you mean even if they are reformed alcoholics, then they also cannot.
Wasted. That's what Swamiji told us in one satsang. I remember many years back. I was like, oh my God, alcohol. For those who are addicted, addicted to alcohol, it's like permanent damage in the consciousness. Okay.
Okay.
So
Actually, thank goodness, I must say, since young I don't drink, so very lucky.
I mean, like when we're working, in a corporate world, there's always entertainment, there kind of socializing.
A little
So just
yeah.
little bit only, like sip or like maybe and because I'm also allergic to alcohol, so I don't really take much alcohol when I was still working in a corporate world when I was young. Couldn't take, every time break out in hives. So in the end I said, okay, too much suffering. Had to go to hospital after that. I said, no, I think alcohol and me are no go. So I don't drink. Yeah. Okay, so let's see how we can help. If you are able to get us into this, because now that government is stepping up the task force. I know he mentioned MOE and Ministry of Health, right? I don't know. Two ministry are working concurrently now to address this vaping phenomena in Singapore among the youth. So let's see if there are any opportunity for us to come in to help.
Okay.
What about both of you? Okay, come, let's finish the last few slides and we conclude with the Puna mantra. Thank you all for coming. So yes, let's resume the slide. So I want to announce something exciting next week. Next week we're going to celebrate Ganesha Chaturthi. So this is for us it's going to be like a 7-day long celebration starting tomorrow. So every day we're going to tell the story about Ganesha, this amazing, most loved God in Hinduism. Ganesha is the most loved God. He appeals to everybody. Okay, so we're going to have from every evening 7 to 8. You come to the Zoom. We'll share the birth of Ganesha as a first story. Then the second day we're going to share the wisdom of Ganesha. Why Ganesha is the Lord of wisdom and completion as well. And then we're going to also learn about Ganesha and Kubera. There was a story about him and Kubera. And then there is also a story about Ganesha and a cat. And then one of it is also the story about Swamiji, Avatar Leela, the Leela of devotion. How Swamiji, when he was young, his relationship with Ganesha, how he made Ganesha eat his Naivedyam. Okay, so that's also another story we wanted to cover. And then on the day 6, where we're going to have the puja, we're going to do the power manifestation of the feeding Ganesha with the milk, and then leading into the Ganesha puja in the Adinam, so you guys can join. And then on the 7th day is the day of the Ganesha Chaturthi live darshan. Okay, Somji will come and give the live darshan in the morning at 7 a.m. Singapore time. So these are the different day of celebration, because this year we want to do something that is really celebrating Ganesha's amazing qualities and his expressing his different embodiment and the fun part of Ganesha. Okay, so please join us every evening from 7 to 8. Next slide. So once again, we want to invite everybody who have not attended Paramashiva Sena. The 10 batch is happening next month, starting 1st September and the 1st October, right up to 1st October for about 30 days. It's happening in Los Angeles for now, but of course there may be some other location open up depending on the announcement. But if you're seriously interested in transforming your life and getting the initiation by Swamiji, I highly encourage you to go take time out and attend this program for 30 days. Okay, next slide. So once again, join us as part of Kailasa's e-citizen. If you're interested to become an e-citizen, contact any one of us. We'd be more than happy to share the citizenship guide. Okay, next slide. And finally, next week, because of the Ganesha Chaturthi, we will do a replay of one of the sessions. So we'll have a break. We will not have a live session here. Then the following week we'll come back with the last tattva, enriching, Upaayanam. Okay, Upaayanam. So which is happening on the 3rd of September. So I will see you 2 weeks later for the next chapter 8, part 1. Okay. So with that, let's conclude with the Puna mantra. Thank you all for joining. Om Purnamada Purnamitam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Saubham Bhagavad Shri Nityananda Paramashiva Paurika Paramastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you, Nityanandam. Thank you, Swamiji. So, Parvati, you took a snapshot